Hi, it's Dreyer and welcome to day 30 of the Financial Freedom Challenge. I'm here on a farm near Bloemfontein, and our mission in the Financial Freedom Challenge is basically to help you to create, to grow, to protect and to enjoy a life of abundance. And today I'd like to talk to you about the freedom of choice. There are 4 types of freedom. There's financial freedom, then the freedom of time, and then the freedom of choice. This is what I'm going to discuss with you, the concept of choice today, and then of course the freedom of purpose. So every person on this planet must make a conscious choice to either be a servant or to be a master. You've got no other choice if we really start breaking it down. If there's no conscious choice, I can guarantee you you're going to be a slave. You must have the sufficient courage. In other words, it's going to take courage, it's going to take effort, it's going to take discipline, and a lot of self-reliance to start a business of your own. And the reason for that is you're either going to employ other people to carry out your idea, or you're going to work for someone and carry out their idea. If we boil it down to the basics, this is the choice, the options that you've got. And you have to make that choice. So you choose what you want and what you don't want in life. And then, of course, you have to take action in order to make it happen. Without that action, nothing is going to happen. But everything starts with a choice. Now, you can't always choose what life throws at you. I mean, life really happens. But the one thing that you can choose is you can choose how you're going to react to that. Okay, so you can choose what you're going to take away from the experience, because in every bad experience or so-called bad experience, there's something good and there's a learning experience, and this is what we want. And this is, so irrespective of the choice that you make or irrespective of what life is throwing at you, you've got the ability to use that in order to gain the experience, and that is going to help you in getting the competency. And we know by now that the competency is practical experience, practical knowledge, and then of course that the skills that goes with that. So you can choose basically, if something bad happens to you, you can choose the story that you're going to keep with you or that you're going to tell you for the rest of your life. And you can definitely choose to dwell on the negative. But you know what, you can also take away the positive and the learning experience and carry that with you throughout your life. So the only way to become financially free, and this is about financial freedom, is to make the choice. Now, it's not only for financial freedom. This choice that I'm talking about, this freedom to choose, it's exactly the same principle when it comes to health, happiness, love, when it comes to traveling. We are busy traveling at the moment. When it comes to debt, misery, frustrations, you know it. So you can choose to be even healthy or unhealthy through the foods that you eat, because you choose that food. Each and every time before you eat something, there's a choice that goes into it. Sometimes unconscious choice, but it's still a choice. You can choose the activities that you engage in. This morning I engaged in a different activity that I normally do in order to get to my financial challenge. Okay? And of course you can choose to skip that. So your life is, if we really look at it, it's a series of consecutive choices that you're going to make. And either you're going to make the choice, in other words, you're going to step up to choose, or you're going to let someone else choose that for you. And unfortunately, I see when it comes to financial freedom, we let someone else normally choose for us through our investment, or by not taking up the responsibility to start a small business or a sideline business sometimes. So a lot of people refuse to make choices, okay? And because of that, they simply drift through life. And they're not taking up the task of choosing to where they're going to go to. In other words, what course? I'm here at next to a river. So I can choose, if I want to get to the other side of the river, I can choose where I want to end up. But then I have to actually either swim or get a boat or something and row actually to get there. Now, what most people don't do, they get into the water and they don't choose. In other words, they don't choose where they want to end up. And then when they landed in rough water, you know what they say, why is this happening to me? And I see this in life, and I see this especially with the laggers and the ziggers, where the moment that something happens to them that they do not want, they say, why me? Why is it that the whole world is against me? And it's simply because they never understood the fact that freedom of choice, that freedom that they could choose whatever they want. Of course, each and every choice will have a consequence. But the moment that you understand that it's a choice that you make and that you have to bear the consequence as well, that is when the responsibility starts kicking in, and that is when you change the destiny, your destiny. Okay? And even if it's something bad that happens to you, there has to be something good in it, I promise you. Now, there are two reasons why people do not want to choose consciously. Okay? The first one is, I've said this already, and that is that they don't want to take a responsibility. And then the second one is they fear the fact that maybe it was the wrong choice. Okay? So I'd like to let you into a little secret that I've got. And that is that there is no wrong choice in life. Because each and every choice that you're going to make what comes with it is a set of consequences, a set of experiences, a set of learning experiences, a set of knowledge. So as a wealth creator, if you do the research, you follow the formula for riches, you follow the wealth creator strategy, right, all you have to do is to choose the best possible strategy that's available to you at that stage, and then start taking action. In other words, now you're going to make a far better informed decision than just by not making that choice, or by letting someone else start making that choice for you. So I can promise you that you do not have to fear to make the wrong choices. Because if it's an informed decision, there's going to be learning experiences. It's going to build your competency. And I think that is what life is all about. It's about the experiences that we're going to handle and get in life, and of course how we're going to handle that. So let me perhaps give you a little challenge for today. I want you to adopt the right mindset. I want you to adopt a mindset that you do have complete control over each and every choice that you're going to make in life. Even if it's a choice on how to handle bad situations, right? It's still a choice. And then I want you to take up that responsibility to consciously make that choice that will help you and propel you to become financially free. Now, one little warning that I want you to have is that I see a lot of business owners, they choose to start their own business, and they think by choosing that they're going to become financially free. And it's not, because you can be entrapped by choosing to enslave yourself through debt, as a simple example. Or you can choose yourself to be in business for the rest of your life, suffer more than a person that was an employee, simply because you choose not to make sure that your investment growth rate in that business was greater than your financial freedom growth rate. So if we perhaps can quickly recap, you can either choose consciously, the course of your life, or you can float along like in this river and hope that you're going to end up somewhere where you want to. Because unless you're going to make that choice, I promise you that someone else is going to make that choice for you. Okay, so what actions can you take in order to become financially free? Right, the first thing is to make a conscious choice to be financially free at a specific time. That's why I'm offering you the Financial Freedom Planner, where you can first of all calculate your financial freedom growth rate, and then show you how you should do your planning and what investments can help you in order to get to the end goal. So that's the first thing. And the timing is really, really important, because otherwise you're not going to get there either. And then set this as a conscious goal. I call that a power goal. In other words, in the Power Morphing course, I'm explaining what is a power goal. But you have to deliberately program that thing in your subconscious mind, so that unconsciously you will do those things that you need to do in order to get your investment growth rate higher than your financial freedom growth rate. And then the last thing that we need to do in order to become financially free, and by now I think you know it, is a very, very simple thing. Make sure that each and every action that you take in your business or your investment is that your investment growth rate is higher than your financial freedom growth rate. That's all. So I want to bring to you this little message today, and that is that there's an immense power in choice. It's something that I've learned basically in 1982 when I read that book by Ochmandino, and where I realized that in order for me to become the best that I can be, I have to take full responsibility for my life, for each and every action, even for the past. I need to take responsibility for the past, the present, and the future, because this who we are today is because of a series of choices that we've made in the past. So the present is a perfect representation of all these choices that we've made. And if the results, if we look at our lives today, is not what we want, like I did in 1982, if that is not what you want, then the power is by just consciously deciding this is not going to continue. I'm going to choose something better for myself. I'm going to choose to strain myself, to do the courses, to read the books, to find the mentors, to find the coaches, and to change my life, and to make sure that my investment growth rate is higher than my financial freedom growth rate. I promise you, your life will not be the same. So the alternative that you've got is not to make a choice, to think that I do not have to choose to make a decision. And that's going to be detrimental to you, because you're going to float down a river and you're not going to end up where you want to end up. So my message to you basically is choose carefully. Okay? So let's maybe close. And I think that in closing, what I want to tell you is remember that in order to create financial freedom, you must make sure that whatever you do today will help you in order to create a perfect day. And in creating these perfect days, because we're going to move closer and closer to our goal, as Earl Nightingale says, and those steps are success. So in moving closer and in creating these perfect days, there will never be a day in your life that won't require you to take responsibility. We can see you can't make a choice without attaching responsibility to that, because there's going to be a consequence. You must have the intent. You must know exactly what it is, because otherwise you're going to make the wrong choices. I see a lot of people, they've got the intent to become financially free, but they do not have the intent to let their investment growth rate be higher than their financial freedom growth rate, simply because they do not want to take the responsibility. It's going to take time. It's going to take effort. It's going to take the right mindsets. It's not going to happen overnight, right? But the moment that you take a step closer to it and a step towards that, you're closer to it, and therefore you are successful and you are making the right choices. And then, of course, we have to take massive, massive action. You know, this morning I had to change my routine a little bit in order to do what I was supposed to do in terms of getting my heart rate up. But it becomes totally irrelevant the way that I'm going to do it, simply because I've made a decision. I've made the choice in order to do what I'm doing. Okay, so we have to, and the trick is to do this consistently. So we consistently needs to be doing that needs to be done if you want the results that you want. So every single action that you're going to take, consciously, subconsciously, every single action that you're going to take is either going to take you one step closer to your goal, or it's going to take you one step away from your goal. And we define the goal for this series as financial freedom. Therefore, I can promise you that if you want to guarantee yourself financial freedom, I want you, and I want to challenge you today, to choose to engage in those activities, those strategies, those formulas that will guarantee you financial freedom. Right. So, as always, if you've got any questions, if you've got comments, or if you've got suggestions, please leave them down in the comment section wherever you may find this. And remember to subscribe to my blog if you want to get updates on this on a regular basis. That is blog.hannesdreyer.com. And my personal challenge, I'm sitting with a new challenge today, and that is I haven't got internet, so I can't upload this TomTom, the health assessment thing, to the internet, and I won't be able to do this video right now. But I'll see later on today. We're going to travel. I don't know where we're going to end up, but as soon as I've got internet connection, I will upload that. I know that my heart rate was definitely more than 120, and I know also that I've done more than 30 minutes, so I've achieved that goal as well. So basically that's that for today, and then I'm going to see you tomorrow.